I was born in 1966, right in the middle of the civil rights movement, a time when people were finally saying enough to pretending everything was okay when it really wasn't. They were tearing off the masks that they'd worn for generations, refusing to play by the rules that denied humanity. I didn't know it then, but being born in that moment of transformation would shape my entire life purpose. For 25 years, since 1999, I've been on my own journey of unmasking, and layer after layer, year after year. Used to be a financial advisor, one of the most qualified people I knew in finance, MBA, CFP, over a decade of training, 20 years in the industry. I was successful by every measure. And when I took on new roles, I would go straight to the top. People looked at my life and saw security and benefits and success. But inside, I was dying. You see, I spent 25 years since my father was unfortunately brutally murdered, learning what it takes to face the darkest of times and keep going. I've learned how seductive it is to settle for mediocrity, to build those beautiful cages we call success, the cages that keep us small, they keep us safe. And I've watched countless people convince themselves that their dreams are too big, too risky, too late to pursue. And, I ended up walking away from it 10 years ago. People thought I was crazy. They couldn't understand why I would leave a lifetime of security, status, success, but I had to because I was learning through my own unmasking what wasn't working for me. And I would say it was preparation for what's coming and what we are all going to be facing in 2025 and beyond. 2025 is not just another year. It's the beginning of what I will call the Great Unmasking. Just like those souls in 1960s who said enough to systemic inequality, we're about to face our own moment of truth. All of the survival suits that we've built, people pleasing, the tough exterior, the overachievement, the working ourselves to death, the perfectionism, the control mechanisms, the listening and believing in politicians that they're going to actually take care of us, all of that is cracking. It's only going to get worse. And when it cracks, we're going to have to face some hard truths as a society. What happened in the 1960s wasn't just about civil rights. It was about confronting the shadow side of the American dream. It was about acknowledging that prosperity for some came at the cost of oppression for many. And look at us now. Here we are facing a similar reckoning, but on an even larger scale. We've built an entire world around the idea that money is more important than human life. Don't believe me? Look at how we treat our essential workers. Look at how we've commoditized healthcare, education, even our relationships. We've created systems where profit matters more than people, where quarterly earnings reports carry more weight than human suffering. I saw this firsthand in the financial services industry. I watched people, their life savings reduced to nothing more than numbers on a screen as their dreams of security were turned into products to be sold. The system wasn't designed to help people. It was designed to extract value from them. That's what's happening in healthcare. The most insidious part is that we've bought into it. We've accepted it as just the way things are. But here's what I've learned from studying the civil rights movement, looking back at the Civil War. Change does not come from accepting things as they are. It comes from having the courage to imagine things as they could be. In the 60s, brave individuals stood up and said, "We refuse to accept a society that denies our humanity." And in 2025, we'll need to stand up and say, "We refuse to accept a society that denies our souls." The shadows we need to confront run very deep. We've become a society that's so easily distracted, so easily manipulated that we can barely think for ourselves. We're drowning in information, but starving for wisdom. We're more connected than ever through technology, yes, We are more disconnected from each other and from ourselves than we've ever been. I've seen the confusion in people's eyes when they've realized that all the money in the world couldn't fill the void that they felt inside. Because here's the truth, we're not just facing a financial crisis or a political crisis or an environmental crisis, we're facing a crisis of the soul. The civil rights movement showed us that transformation isn't just about changing laws, it's about changing hearts. It's about confronting the uncomfortable truths that we've been avoiding. It's about looking in the mirror and being honest about what we see. And that's what 2025 is going to demand of all of us. When these survival suits crack, and they will crack, we're going to have to face questions that we've been avoiding. What are we really working so hard for? Why have we accepted a system that values productivity over humanity? How did we let ourselves become so disconnected from what truly matters? And what price have we paid for our obsession with security and control? I recently wrote a new book and I didn't realize how timely it would be. It's going to come out at Mother's Day of 2025. It's a fictional parable about a character who is noticing how these carefully constructed survival strategies aren't working for her anymore. And the terror of letting go of everything that she thought kept her safe, and facing the void when our masks slip away. She meets a character called the Money Catalyst who awakens her to a whole new way of being, to questioning the assumptions that she just thought that's the way that it was. More importantly, I think through all of this, writing the book, witnessing what's happening on the planet, is that I want to help people learn that when these patterns start to fail, we need practices to stay grounded when everything feels like it's falling apart. We need to be able to sit in the discomfort of change rather than having it take over or running away from it. We need to know how to distinguish between the voice of fear and the voice of wisdom, and how to take small, brave steps towards authenticity, even when everything in you is telling you to retreat. So I'm really excited about this new book. Can't say I'm excited about 2025, but I do know that this is what we have come for. The unmasking of 2025 will not be easy. It will feel vulnerable, raw, maybe even terrifying. But remember, every great transformation in history felt that way. The civil rights movement didn't feel comfortable. The Civil War did not feel comfortable. It was not safe, but it was necessary. And so is this. Because when those survival suits fall away and when we finally stop hiding behind our masks of success and security, something extraordinary emerges, not just our authentic selves, but our collective potential for creating a world that values human life over profit, connection over control, and authenticity over appearance. The time for hiding is over. The time for deferring our dreams is done. Just as those brave souls in the 60s said, enough, 2025 is our moment to declare we are worth more than our productivity. We are worth more than our bank accounts. We are worth living the fullest lives we are here to possibly live. And now is the time. This is our moment of truth. And together, I am very certain that we're ready to face it.